Alright, now we want to do chromatic gray. So this is very muted. We're doing a narrow and broad value range. I have leftovers from the muted. So first I want to determine, well, that's too skinny. It needs to be 2 inches square, so I'm going to put that to the side. I'll save it for a project for later. And then this one has white on it. I'll ignore that one. I want them to be also, this one has white on it too. I want them to be smooth. This is a good chromatic gray of red. This could be violet chromatic gray. If it looks brown, it's a chromatic gray of either orange or yellow or even violet, or even red. So this could be yellow or orange. This one might be not gray enough. Chromatic gray, again, for those who missed it, it just means gray that has a colorish, a little bit of hue showing. This might be a blue or a green chromatic gray. This could function as a green. Here's some, I have another red. I might need, or violet. Might need two of this. Might be a red. That one's another one that's muted but not chromatic gray. This could be a blue. This one could be a green. That's a blue again. This one might be a very gray violet. This looks greenish, so similar to that one. This one is violet. Could be a chromatic gray. It's pretty gray. I mean, yeah, pretty close. And this one is, I don't even know what that is. Maybe violet. All right. So I'm okay on violet. I've got two. There's the narrow and broad value range. We want to have lights and darks for a broad value range. So I'm not sure where I am in terms of value. That one seems pretty much on the light side. That one might be good for my broad value range. So I'll put, I'm going to set up over here what I'm thinking for broad. So a red and a violet so far. And then over here what I'm thinking for narrow. This might, I already have a red, so I'll put this one over here. That might be orange, actually. So orange. And then this could be my green in the broad. So maybe my narrow range is very gray. Here's a green in the group for narrow. And then this could be a blue for narrow. And do I have two of these? Are these the same? Well, this is a little bit. So this blue could be over here with those. And here's two violets. That's a violet. I have violet already. And this one's more reddish. So I'll probably put this red over here in the narrow. And maybe I'll save these for another project or another assignment. This one is definitely a violet. I might put this in my broad range. And it's not so much about the hue. I know that one has more saturation. It's not really about the hue. It's about the value. But but that one seems like it will work as far as the way I'm organizing my brain with these things right now. And I already have one of those. Okay, so I feel like I'm good on the broad value range. I'm going to check it with my value scale. Just to see if it's really broad. So this looks to be, I'll come closer with each one. is looking like not quite 8 and not quite 6, so around 7. I'm gonna go ahead and write 7 with a pencil on the back. That's around 7. This is also around 7. This green, five. Okay, so I'm still within narrow because between 5 and 7 is just 3. This pink is could be a 5 or 4.5. I'll call it 4. I mean, it's on the edge since I'm trying to get broad. It was on the edge between 4 and 5. And this looks like 5. Alright, it could be broader, right? Since I'm going to be painting anyway, I'll probably make some lighter values or darker. And then this is a definitely not a 5. This might be another 7 or darker. Just say 7. It's on the edge again, so it could be an 8. I mean 7, 8. I'll put 7, 8. And this one was on the edge between, wasn't it? Between 4 and 5. Could be a 5. All right, we'll say that's a 5. I was reaching for 4 before, but I think it's a 5. Okay, so yeah, I'm hardly broad. I mean, I could push it if I wanted to in my brain, but I feel like I need to make some new darker and lighter ones. I have to make new ones anyway for the narrow value range. So I'm going to move some of these over to my narrow over here because I'm missing 2. What am I missing? I have a red, I have a violet, I have a blue, I have a green. I need yellow and orange. Unless, I don't think that's orange, I think that one's red. So this could be orange. And then I guess I have 2 violets on this side. Maybe I'll just keep this more muted one as my violet. And then I'll move this orange over here for narrow. Narrow was, I didn't really check my narrow, did I? Or maybe I did, but I didn't write it on, oh, that's 5. I didn't write all of them. This is 7. This one is 5. And this one is 7. And this one is so if it's 5, 6, or 7, I'm good for narrow. I think it's 7. Okay, so my narrow is good. I just need one hue for my narrow. I got blue, I got violet, I got red and orange, and green. So I need yellow for both of these. So let me start with yellow. Let's try, we got muted before at the beginning of the course when we mixed. Well, actually, no, it's just yellow. Sorry, I'm not doing a secondary. So this is a primary. So I'm gonna use I'll go ahead and use warm yellow, and I'll mix it with a violet. I'll do like a warm blue and cold red or something to get a less prismatic combination. Warm blue, cold red. So chromatic gray of yellow. I'm going to put some white on my palette to make a couple different versions of it. Okay. A little bit more blue. Yeah, that's definitely a violet. Get a different yellow here. Still trying for the yellow. Muted yellow, but muted to the point of chromatic gray. I've got violet in my brush, so I'm just going to mix that in here. There, that still has a yellowish feel. So this is a chromatic gray of yellow right here. Looking brownish. Add a little bit of water to that. Should put some white paper under my palette so I can see the color better. Okay, I'm gonna paint that on my paper. Trying to get smooth application, not washy and not too thick, and make it a big area of paint so that you can get more swatches out of it. So you see I'm going back and forth a couple of different directions. Didn't mean to fold the paper like that. Okay. This is my chromatic gray of yellow. I'm going to do another version with white. It can help with the value range stuff. Quite possibly. Okay, chromatic yellow, chromatic gray yellow is good. So yellow is all I needed for my narrow value range over here. And I think I'm good on that. Here I have violet, red, so I need orange and yellow. So I'm good on yellow over here too. So now I just need an orange. So if I have muted yellow already, can I just add some red? Let's see how it looks. Feels like muted red, right? I'm gonna add a little bit more yellowy stuff. Just wetting this dry hunk of yellow over here. See how that compares on my paper that I have next to the yellows that I did. See how that looks. It looks, yeah, that looks orangey. Do one with white. Okay, so I have a couple different chromatic grays with orange, and that's all I really needed, a yellow and the orange, because I had done some before with my muted. And so now these need to dry for a while. I think a couple hours would be good, and then I'm gonna press them flat, and then I'll cut them out and do the rest of my layout for my pages of the broad and narrow value range. So I will be back. Okay, I'm back. I flattened my orange and yellow chromatic grays page. Again, for my broad value range, I needed orange and yellow, and for my narrow value range, I only need yellow. So I'm going to move these to the side for a second and cut out some squares. Lining up with the side of my page. Draw a line here. And then I want to go 2 inches over. Okay, lining up with the other side and drawing a line, 2-inch mark, 1, 2, and lining up with the previous line and the edge of my paper, and marking 2 inches. And then another 2 inches. I can get 2 out of this. And then looking for right angles this time. Right angle there to get a straight line. Okay, now for the cutting. Again, you want to have a cutting mat, or you can do it with scissors carefully. Just try to make your squares consistent. It's better to use this. Oh, I didn't do a line there, but I can just line up with my mark that I had. Okay, so this is good. This is the lighter got orange or yellow? I think it's orange. Or maybe that's... No, I don't remember. I mean, this definitely looks like yellow. So, say it's orange. So I needed orange on this one. I don't really need the lighter one for my... oh yeah, I do. For my broad value range, I do need the lighter one. So looking back over here, I'm trying to make a broad value range and a narrow value. So I want the lighter orange there. I know this could be a little confusing, obviously, because you can see that I'm figuring it out. But it also can be fun to figure these things out. Okay, so I'm cutting the darker orange, which I don't need a darker orange, do I? I need a darker yellow for my narrow value range. So I'm gonna leave my darker orange for later. We have projects coming up, collages and things where you're gonna need scraps, so save your scraps. And before I cut this, I'm just, because they're not all gonna be 2-inch squares, they might be random shapes that are for abstract art. So I'm not gonna cut it yet, I'm only cutting what I'm cutting. And I bet, yeah, here since I guess I'll just do one square out of this scale, because I'm gonna do, actually, no, I'll do two, because I want yellow here and here. So I'll do 2 out of this one. So I have 4 inches available this way. So I'll draw a line starting here, lining up with the top of my page. Making a mark at 0 and 4 and 2. Okay, then going 2 inches over. I'm going to bring my ruler over a little bit so I can see right angles with the, or a right angle with the line that I drew a second ago. I got a right angle, so I'm at 3, I'm going to go to 5. Line up with my long line. I can also look for right angles on this side. And then I just need a couple more short lines. ready to cut. And then I'll check my values with my value scale. Okay. All right, so I've got my muted yellow for broad value range, hopefully, and a muted for narrow, hopefully. Checking my values. Let me move narrow to the side for a second. Start with broad. I mean, if this and I'm looking for the darkest, which might be this, and the lightest, and see if they're more than 3 sections apart from each other. So I've got a 4, and I've got a 7. Yeah, so that's good. That's 4 to 6 would be narrow, but it's going beyond, so it's okay. All right, so that's fine for broad. And then I want my narrow to be narrow for real. So within 3 sections on my scale. So that looks like a 6. This looks like a 5. 6 and 5. This looks like a 6. This looks like a 6. Not quite 7. And this looks like a 7. So I'm at 5, 6, 7. I haven't had any 4s or 8s yet. And then I have 7 again. Okay, so yeah, I'm within 5, 6, 7 for my narrow. So that's okay as far as narrow. So now I want to put it on a page in my sketchbook. So you're going to measure your sketchbook and just do 2 center lines. That's it, with a colored pencil. Starting with broad. Okay, so 2 center lines with a colored pencil. So I'm measuring horizontally. I got 8.5. Half of that is 4 1/4. Making a mark at 4 1/4. And then drawing a vertical line. Line it up with the inseam, the left side or the right side of your paper, or look for right angles or both. All right, I have right angles and that's lined up with the side. So drawing a line with colored pencil. Then you want to get the center the other direction. So I'm measuring the vertical, the height of the page. I have 11, so half of that's 5.5. Your results may vary because you might have 9 by 12 or 11 by 14 sketchbook or something. All right, so now I'm drawing a horizontal line, lining it up with the top or the bottom of my page, and also can look for right angles on this side. All right, 90-degree angle. All right, so I have the center. So I'm gonna grab my swatches, and you can center applying glue. So I'm centering on the center line my middle square. And then the other one to the right of that. Okay, I have a little bit of empty space that doesn't have glue on it here. Okay, and then below that, just line it up with the previous square. Again, lining it up with my center line against the previous square to line as far as where I put it on the top. Now for the top. Okay, so I'm using the center colored pencil line and the top of the middle square. Okay, if you do have glue going outside the edges, you might want to wait for it to dry before you go to the next page. But I don't think I have very much going beyond the edges, so that's my broad value range page. I want to move to my narrow. Okay, same thing with the center line. So this way it was 4 1/4. Drawing a vertical line. Okay, and then this way it was 5 1/2. Drawing a horizontal line. Okay, I'm going to adjust my line because it's not quite straight. My vertical, it wasn't on the other page either. But it's okay to make corrections. It's hardly noticeable. Just made a little shift counterclockwise. All right, so starting with the center. Centering my squares on the center. I didn't have to center it because where I put these words, I could have gone higher, but it was fine. Lining up with the other one. All right. Lining up with the center line and the top of the center square. Lining up with the center line on the bottom of the center square. And there we go. All right, so now my narrow value range chromatic grays. That is all. Hope you have a good experience and learn from the experience. Thank you.